Well, Credit Suisse deep in the red this afternoon after the bank's largest investor, Saudi National Bank, said that it will not provide any more funding. This was after the Swiss bank earlier in the week said that, quote, it had found certain financial weaknesses in the internal control of their financial reporting for the last 2 years. Well, in an effort to reassure the markets and also skeptical investors, the Swiss National Bank today saying that it will provide Credit Suisse with liquidity if necessary. But the drop in Credit Suisse, you're looking at a drop of just about 14% today. This was just the latest blow to the financial sector, which has had its fair share of crises over the past week. The collapse of Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank adding some jitters here to the market. Regional banks today were back in negative territory, selling off once again.
And we have to also keep in mind that Credit Suisse is definitely a different bank than SVB, than Silicon Valley Bank, and these different situations, different set of problems that these banks have had. Credit Suisse has had management changes over the last couple of years. It has had job cuts. It recently delayed its annual report because it found material weakness in its accounting. And the Saudi National Bank has said that it will not continue to give assistance to Credit Suisse, and this is its top shareholder. So we saw today the drop with Credit Suisse, but this is really creating fears within the banking industry and within the market as a whole.
Yeah, it certainly is creating a lot of fear out there, and I think that's reflected in the drop that we're seeing really across the board today. When you take a look at a number of the larger financial groups, and it's not just a Credit Suisse issue, you saw that reflected in some of the shares of the European banks across the board. Even here, some of the larger U.S. banks also took a hit on this news. When it comes to the regional plays, you're right, it's very important to distinguish what is going on with Credit Suisse to what happened over the weekend at Silicon Valley Bank. But we're seeing some of the jitters here reflected within the regionals today. First Republic Bank, one of the names that has been hit very, very hard over the last week or so. That was downgraded to junk by S&P and also Fitch, saying that there's fears there that further deposit play is going to hurt the profitability of that company. Those shares closing off just over 20% today. PacWest is another name that has been caught up in the selling pressure over the last week or so. Those shares off another nearly 13% today, Ines.